as we move along, once again, amazing people telling amazing stories about themselves and how they affect the country in many different ways. So I am looking forward to bringing our next guest, which is Jane Babcock, to the stage. And she is here. So who nominated you, Jane? I think you might be on mute. Let's see. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties here. So, um,
Can you hear me now?
yes, we can.
Wonderful.
How are you? And happy Veterans Day to you.
Happy Veterans Day. Thank you so much for your service.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So, who nominated you for
Ken
voice?
Rashan.
Hey,
Smiley.
Dr. Smiley again. Ding, ding, ring him up.
You betcha. Yeah, I was lucky enough to meet him. I got to sit with him at the gala dinner at Vic this year.
Okay. Nice, nice. Yeah, he touches a lot of people's lives, and I met him here in Las Vegas when we were at an event to stand up the Global Women's Wealth Warriors chapter here in Las Vegas. So you can ask more about this, or you can ask me, because what they do is help women on the international stage get out of poverty through education and other different things that they present. So truly amazing women. But with that being said, I'm turning this over to you. I want to hear about you because right now it is all about you. So with no further ado, let me step away and looking forward to hearing about you, Jane.
Terrific. Thanks, Russell. My name is Jane Babcock, but I served in the military as Patricia Jane Cook Babcock. So I wore many hats in the military. Actually had 5 different MOSs. I started out active duty as a crypto tech and then became an installer, saw 26 states in 2.5 years, went to the reserves, and then got tapped out of the reserves 3 more times. So I actually hold 4 DD-214s, but held 5 different MOSs during my 21.5 years of service. Unfortunately, at the end, I had had injuries at the high tech in California, doing some training, prepping to go to Afghanistan, and came back to the unit and said, hey, the neurosurgeon wants to cut my throat, put in a bunch of metal hardware, and I don't know how the recovery is going to go because at that time I could barely feel my right arm. Nobody said VA. Nobody said compensation. Nobody said healthcare. So unfortunately for me, I didn't have access to the VA until 4 years later, after I became a county veteran service officer. And for those who don't know what a veteran service officer is, an accredited veteran service officer. They're usually a veteran, sometimes civilians, but most of the time it's veterans that go through training, learn all about the VA benefits system, and then they help veterans learn about the benefits and also do their applications, help them know what kind of evidence they need to submit. And then they also work with the surviving families. I helped a young veteran who passed from cancer early on, and he had children. And although he was divorced and his widow wasn't eligible, or former spouse wasn't eligible, his children were eligible. So we were able to get DIC for them so that they lived with the grandparents, and they were able to help support them financially better and also prepare them for education benefits and things like that. So there's a lot in the VA that's not just for us veterans. there's a lot there for our surviving family. So I recommend that everybody know their nearest accredited VSO. 32 states mandate that they have a veteran service officer in every county. So please look and see. If you don't have county ones, you have state ones. And if you don't, well, all states have, them, but if you can't find one local through the state, then look at the major veteran service organizations such as DAV, VFW, American Legion, Paralyzed Veterans of America, Wounded Warrior, all sorts of organizations out there. They go through the training, the testing, they get their accreditation with the VA, and that gives them access to the claim system. So they can actually monitor your claim once they're assigned as your claim manager. So get with them. They go to training every year to keep the skills up to the latest and greatest. And then they take care of you from there on, and then they will take care of your family. So please, your easiest and probably greatest benefit is the fact that there's somebody out there who will, for free, will not charge you, is not a claim shark, and is accredited to help you. Now, my topic today was on patriotism. I am a third generation Army. I outranked my dad. So, my grandfather did 30, which I was hoping for. But please, remember, our nation is an experiment that's changing. And patriotism is the faith and belief that that dream can come to fruition as long as it's supported. And that's what patriotism means to me, supporting my nation. Whether I may not exactly agree with everything about it, but I agree with the ideal. I believe that the majority of what we're trying to do is the best thing for us and for each other. So for me, patriotism is just belief that the dream can come to fruition and trying my best to make sure it does. So now I serve as a free veterans resource. I am a veterans benefits educator, volunteer. So if you're out there and you're on, have questions about your VA benefits, your survivor benefits, things like that, find me on LinkedIn, Jane Babcock. Usually the first one that pops up when you do a search. And or get hold of me through talk.veteran@gmail. And I'll help in any way I can.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, Jane. And it is truly important for us to help vets. Like you say, getting them to start the process, because a lot of times they're turned off by the system. And so what we tell, and I'm sure that you tell veterans as well, you have more time than money so that we can actually get you the care and the ratings that you deserve. And it always starts, like you say, with getting your medical records, making sure that you put stickers for your various ailments. Do that part, because we have to, as veterans, we have to do our portion in order to make sure that when we present, we have the most accurate information. So thank you once again for being in this space, because it's truly important, because a lot of veterans, even to this day, still don't understand or know what their true benefits are. So yes, thank you, my third generation sister.
You're
Really
very
appreciate
welcome, Russell, and you're right.
it.
Veterans, in my 11 and a half years and over 1,200 claims that I filed, it amazed me how little we as a family know what's out there. Most veterans, and almost 12 years as a CVSO, never did I have a veteran say yes when I asked, do you know that ALS is a presumptive? Or do you know what the Wartime Veterans and Survivors Pension Program is and how it works? One guy said, well, I've heard of it, but he had no idea. He himself was eligible for it. But he had lived below poverty all these years for several years because he hadn't checked into it before.
correct. And a lot of veterans, because they just don't know. And then once you start to educate them, then once again, we start connecting the dots because they connect other veterans as
Yes.
well. So once appreciate your time, and you have a wonderful Veterans Day. I don't know what your plans are later on today, if you're going to get out or and try and partake in some of the events or things that they have to offer. So but looking forward to speaking with you soon, Jane.